from 30K to 99K in just 2 game weeks. This is just not the game for me, and it's time I retire. But first, let's cue that intro real quick. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing a very unfortunate, a disastrous Game Week 7 brief recap of my team, how I did, what worked, what didn't, and what failed, especially in my captaincy choice this game week. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. But before we do, if you like what you're hearing so far, do make sure to leave a like. And check out my other videos where I give you team selection tips and also do Arsenal post-match reactions. We took a point away from home, and I'll gladly have that, considering how well our defense is. But we could have played a lot better and put a lot more fight on the pitch that day. But moving on swiftly, I'm going to go straight into my team. What worked, what didn't, my captaincy choice. A lot of you guys were holding on CR7, thinking that he'll bag. But unfortunately, that was not the case, and they ended up drawing just like Arsenal did. A lot of you guys had faced a lot of rotation with that Chelsea defense, with Alonso and Christensen rotated by Thomas Tuchel, and the only person from that Chelsea defense to escape was Rudiger, who I luckily had. But Chelsea let me down, and they failed to keep a clean sheet. And Lukaku did not get a goal, even though his goal was ruled offside. And Werner's goal could have gone to Lukaku, but unfortunately that was not the case. And it was just another red arrow for me, and this time a massive one. But you know what? I'll bounce back soon and hopefully be back in that 50K range sooner than later. I didn't wildcard as I already used my wildcard chip, so this was just me proceeding with my game week without any hits. And yeah, I hope everything is well. I hope you guys are keeping well. Thank you so much, Rich, for tuning in. I'm going to be screen sharing my team. I didn't really plan to go live right now, so I appreciate the people tuning in. This was actually supposed to be a pre-recorded video, but I forgot to change it to unlisted. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'm just going to go screen share into my team, showing you guys what worked and what didn't, and going on from there. Basically, I had a nightmare of a game week, and I ended up with 43 points overall, so just right above the average, but I still didn't get a green arrow, only because a lot of blanks happened in my team, with Man United failing to keep a clean sheet and getting absolutely destroyed in defense. Luke Shaw ended up starting after all. A lot of people ended up playing their Livermentos, their Duffys, because of not being sure with Ollie after the press conference whether Luke Shaw would play or not. Now, it was very clear that Shaw had traveled with the team prior to the game. Now, with Cristiano Ronaldo not starting, it was a cluster for everyone right before the game week even started. But with Chelsea being the first fixture and Lukaku blanking, I knew my game week was already a recipe of disaster, and I think it's time I quit playing FPL. With that being said, it's all part of the game. It's a marathon, not a race, and I hope to be back soon. Catching up in that 50K rank. I did improve in some of my mini leagues, but most of them I have fallen down, and I hope I'll catch up soon. With Trent Alexander-Arnold set to be back after the international break, I end up playing Duffy and keeping Trent on my bench so that I don't have to buy him back. Just a wise strategy to avoid taking a hit later on to buy him back. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been getting a lot of points, especially bonus in that defensive line, and a player that I'm going to keep long term. I'm going to consider this game week upcoming to get rid of some Man United assets, because Man United tend to have some tough fixtures moving forward. And I'm going to look into those Man City assets like a Diaz and Cancelo in my defensive back line, just because Man City from game week 8 onwards are more nailed in terms of rate of returns, and also their fixtures are not as bad. Something to look into moving forward. But Sanchez had 6 points with, I had double Brighton, so I had clean sheets there. Hats off to Aaron Ramsdale for keeping another clean sheet, but I just wish we did a lot better, especially in that midfield, as we were getting suffocated by Brighton and their high line press. We couldn't just escape them. Chelsea let me down by failing to keep a clean sheet. and with that penalty. And I had Rudiger in my defense who escaped rotation, but unfortunately did not keep a clean sheet. So I only got the standard 2 points. Luke Shaw as well, the same scenario. My midfield, everyone says the rule to FPL is a set and forget captain is Mohamed Salah. And Mohamed Salah, credits to him, what a beautiful FIFA style goal he did. At the weekend, and it was brilliant against Man City. Brilliant performance and such a thriller of a game to watch. Back-to-back goals. Phil Foden bossing it as usual, and is a generational youngster and some player that I look forward to watching week in and week out, along with the likes of Bukayo Saka and Mason Greenwood as well. Those of you who captained Mohamed Salah, hats off to you guys. You got the rate of return that you wanted, and unfortunately, that was not the case for me. I captained Mo Salah in the first 2 game weeks, but I ended up going with Lukaku, thinking he would bag against the Saints, but obviously that's not the case, and it really hurt my rank with other captains like Jamie Vardy and Mo Salah delivering this game week. Even Son also delivered against Spurs this game week. I had Sar blank and Benrahma blank as well, along with Antonio. So those of you who captained Antonio, he didn't do anything, so unlucky for you guys. Rafinha also leads to not do anything, and Jota just barely got in the game and was really, really poor in that performance. Wish he could have improved. We've seen a lot more from Jota. I was holding on for him just for that final game against Man City, and now it's time. I let go of my Jotas, let go of my Sar, and look into Man City midfielders like a Grealish potentially, or even a Gallagher from Palace, considering Palace's fixtures. It's a good differential pick. Even a player like Basuma is someone I'd look into, but I'm going to hold off on my Game Week 8 decisions, wait in the international break, as there may be injuries or COVID cases that I might have to deal with. I didn't take any hits this game week, which is great, so that it didn't cost me in points that way, but I also didn't get much bonus points. In fact, the only bonus point player that returned for me this game week is no other than Mohamed Salah himself. On my bench, I had 4 points on my bench because of the penalty and because Livramento ended up getting an assist, I believe. And Scarlett and Trent obviously not playing due to injury, and Scarlett not getting involved at all. So a standard 43 points for me. Overall, not so bad, not so great, but obviously not where I want to be. And that comes down to, me taking hits previously in game week 6. I took -8, which really affected me overall. Big up everyone in the chat. Hopefully you're keeping well. I didn't mean to go live on public. It was actually supposed to be a pre-recorded, but it is what it is. And I'll go back and add the thumbnail overall. Big up Owen, hope you're well. He said Rashford will be a gem in FPL when he's back. Yes, definitely, that's someone to look into. The only thing with Man United that I'm worried about, and a lot of people are selling their Cristiano Ronaldo for an asset like Jamie Vardy, who has gone unnoticed, under the radar this whole season. He has done well in terms of captaincy, and seems like he's the only player in Leicester that's really carrying their team. Last season, we've seen a lot from Iheanacho, who delivered week in and week out, but this season, he's just only getting involved slightly ever so than ever before, and hopefully we see Leicester improve, but it looks like they're struggling, and I'll even go to say it doesn't look like Brendan Rodgers is going to last on the job even longer, and I even predict that Graham Potter will end up being the new manager of Leicester City. Hi, MMA, I hope you're well. Hopefully you're keeping well. Rich, I agree with you 100%, and that's exactly why I'm kind of staying away from those Man United assets. I kept Luke Shaw for as long as possible, and he didn't really do much for me. After he went off injured, I still kept him, thinking Ollie will play him, and that's exactly what happened. I didn't end up taking a -4 to get rid of him like most people did, but I will look into those Man City assets in defense just because they have good fixtures, and Man City tend to keep more clean sheets than Man United. Man United with Aaron Wan-Bissaka back, it's kind of doubtful whether they keep a clean sheet, with all due respect. And it's just they have tough fixtures, and it's not someone I want to put my money into in terms of bringing me those clean sheet points that I need in that defensive back line. Chilwell, exactly. You're great. You're a great choice. Mo Salah every game week is a type of captain you want to set and forget. And this week I really failed with that. Last week as well, I captained Cristiano Ronaldo, and he ended up blanking the whole game week. Back-to-back red arrows for me. I went from 30K to 99K overall in the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not so bad as, you know, some other players, but I'm really competitive and I want to do as best as I can in my mini leagues. If you guys haven't already joined my FPL mini league, take a look in the link in the description below. I'll be adding it later on after this live stream, so that you guys can join my FPL league. And it's also a prize league, so the first 2 people to win at the end of the season will be given a $10 gift card of their choice via email delivery. That's just something I'm doing as an incentive and just more of like having fun playing it. I think some of you guys have leagues with your family or friends. Myself, I have some leagues with my friends that I want to have bragging rights in, and I'm trying to do the best I can overall. But I hope you guys enjoyed this stream so far. It was just a brief one to catch up on my rank, show you guys what worked, what didn't, and what really failed in terms of my captaincy choices. I'll be back tomorrow with another video on players to look out for, players to buy, players to sell, and also players to keep and watch on during this international break for your next game week 8 after the international break. I hope you guys enjoy the international break. Have a great rest of your evening, night, morning, wherever you're watching in the world. And if you like what you're hearing so far, do make sure to leave a like on this video and kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching and take care of yourselves and each other. Adios.